Yeah. Yeah. Time to shred Beaver Creek for some spring break slushies. Hopefully some good park action up there. Nice soft park. Got the famous escalators all over the place up here. If you don't want to trudge up the stairs, take the lazy escalator. Whoa. There's plenty of snow, but it's warm out. Pushing 62 degrees today. We'll lap the Cinch Express. Go for that Slushy Park spring ride. What's up?
Let's go. Hi, Mom. What's up? At Beaver Creek with Trailer Tom, getting some footage. This is my first day here. Everything's great. Everything's amazing. What do you like to ride?
I'm heading to the park to try to meet some friends. World famous Birds of Prey side of the 1999 and 2015 FIS Alpine Ski World Championships. Just coming out of the park. Rope Ollie up here, a few people are hitting.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, hey! What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah.
How you doing, Mr. Tom?
Doing excellent.
Good.
Today I will be the only one named Tom that we're shredding with. You got the Chris's. Chris times 2. Riding the chairlift with Chris James, aka Dark Dark, aka Duralumin. He did all the music and sound design for Battle for First Chair Opening Day Dreams PinPin 20. And this is a science fiction ski and snowboard film, so we wanted to go with a futuristic soundtrack. The genre that was chosen was synthwave. Can you tell me about that experience? What was it like to go for the soundtrack on that?
It was amazing. It was a great way to work on some new tracks, and Tom is a dream to work with. On both of his films that I've worked on, he's been extremely open to my thoughts and my creative process, and doing sound design, working with some different synth ideas that I've had. Just a super fun time all around, and I'm happy to have contributed. It's a rad film. You should check it out for sure. I'm pumped with how it came out. Always pumped to work with Tom.
We're stoked to have you on board for those projects in the past and in the future. Was there any particular difficult part to do the sound design for the Battle for First Chair?
You know,
that you spend the most time on, perhaps the battle scene, or?
You know, with the way I worked for that, I wrote a lot of the tracks in the vibes I was thinking first. I didn't do a ton of heavy scoring until the end when I needed to. A few of the scenes needed a little more scoring, like the final duel. I wrote a lot of the tracks just again with the right vibe in mind, and then went in and did sequencing on my own, which is once you plug them in, you start kind of heavily tweaking them. Go back to the original session file, tweak it more, tweak the length and where it might hit here and there. And of course, you have to deal with edits along the way. Tom was still editing as we were working on it, so that's part of the game. But it was more fun because it was more writing kind of artist style tracks. The main chunk of it was what I would call artist style tracks, not heavily scored.
You mentioned 2 films. The other film was more of a documentary, First Chair Opening Day Snowboarding, The White Ribbon of Livin.
Yes.
Now this was much different documentary. We discussed a lot of the golden age of snowboarding, 2000 to 2010. Even 90s.
90s, right.
So we wanted to go for what was the music style that was at all the snowboard contests. We talked about the Beastie Boys. That was kind of a mandatory band that would play at the snowboard contest back then.
Yeah.
And not even early License to Ill, but more the Check Your Head era. So
exactly.
A lot of variety, a lot of not just one type of sound, but heavily influenced, or we had that discussion.
We went with the Paul's Boutique Check Your Head era, the Dust Brothers into Money Mark era of the Beastie Boys, which I love. Check Your Head is, I just love that record start to finish. And a lot of live sound vibes, live drum sounds, live sounds that sound like sampling. That was a ton of fun. And I think it worked well. There was some, a little bit of other like darker 90s vibes. There were some Wu-Tang style tracks. And then we also got into a few, at the right spots, a few more vibe style tracks that were a little more, emotional when they needed to be. So that was a ton of fun. I really love doing that.
More films in the future. All right, Chris Nabell's up next, Chairlift Ride.
Oh no, Nabell! Good? Yeah, fine actually.
You gotta set this thing back up. This year was my 32nd year in a row getting first chair on opening day, holding that tradition. And you had the usual first chair crew, but this year I got to do some first chair opening days with some first timers of that adventure. First was Angel Fire with Chris James, aka Duralumin, aka Dark Dark. And the other Chris got a first chair opening day with us, Arapahoe Basin, Chris Nabell, aka This Week's Adventure.
Yes, sir.
What do you guys remember about those start of the season here? Now we're at the closing season of Beaver Creek. Final closing weekend.
Is this closing weekend actually?
That's what I heard.
They're
Closing
building a
weekend for Beaver
monster,
Creek, and then closing weekend for
Man,
Vail next weekend.
it feels like it went too fast, that's for sure.
It always does.
But the anticipation for that first chair, like everybody is just so excited for the season to kick off. I remember weeks before first chair, Chris James and I and several of the other boys were sitting at Cody Pullum's, and we were all just like, you could feel the energy in the room. We just could not wait for those first turns of the season. It's just, you can't describe it to someone who doesn't live it. If you ski or snowboard, you know what it's like whenever you get to go for the first time of the season. That excitement of going to the mountain and waiting for it to open up and actually getting on the chair and then seeing what you're about to ride. It's just, you can't describe that feeling to someone who doesn't live it. It is an amazing, like, heartwarming, this is going to be a great winter feeling. And it meant so much to me that I actually kept it on me forever. First chair to last chair this season. I've actually got a goal of 200 days. So
What day's today?
we're on day 120, and even though Beaver Creek is closing, Mount Hood is open most of the summer, and I intend to go there and finish it out. I am still in good standings as of right now. I think I have around 29 days that I can still lay out and recuperate and still make my goal of 200 without having to hike for them. But if I have to, I will, because I'm on track this year.
So I did a pinball tournament for my birthday, then drove all through the night down to Angel Fire, New Mexico, just in time for first chair with Luke and Chris James. Chris, what a way to start off the season. What do you remember about that day?
It was a fun day. Tom showed up so early that Luke and I didn't even have to get up that early. I think we got up at 6:45. Like, there was nothing crazy about it. Strolled down there with coffees. Tom was like, I'm here, you know, take your time. And there were only like 3 other kids waiting, and they didn't mind us jumping right ahead of them. Angel Fire's, I mean, I'm from Austin, but Angel Fire's my home mountain. I have a condo up there, so it's probably my 7th or 8th season riding up there, and it'd been a goal to get first chair, and Tom made it about as easy as it could be. The riding that day was not the best, but we had a good time, you know, and rode a few laps, and then Tom went back and took a long nap, and then we took him out for his birthday. It was a great day overall.
I was there for the pinball for the birthday.
Yeah, you were there for when
the
For
birthday
self-celebrate?
pinball for sure.
We did a Star Wars theme. Yep.
Star Wars theme. Tom was sitting there with dueling lightsabers as we were singing happy birthday to him. Really cool moment. It was a fun night for sure. I couldn't imagine driving all the way to Angel Fire after that though.
Yeah,
You're a madman.
Was that 5 hours?
5 hours, and so yeah, the Chris James condo at the base area nap was key to that whole trip. Yeah, it was all about dusting off the cobwebs those first few runs.
Oh, yeah.
But now it's end of the season, we're letting it rip.
Yep. Indeed.
Yeah, buddy.
You. Yeah.
Oh yeah!
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh, they moved it! They got it when we could. Jump.
I recently posted an Instagram video. It was a reel of Chris Nabell getting a parking ticket in the Keystone parking lot. It was a $200 ticket. So we're looking for some fundraisers. You can send Chris money to help pay for that ticket, help support these adventures. How would we do so, Chris?
Venmo, Chris_Nabell, or Chris-Nabell, one of the two. It'll pop up a picture of my van if you get it right, for sure. And then I think it's just Chris Nabell on Cash App also.
Nabell.
Hold on, let's get this right.
Let's check
get this
the
right
spelling.
so that people don't send it to the wrong place here.
If you couldn't help monetarily, no worries. You can drop a follow for Chris, This Week's Adventure, on all platforms.
Absolutely. Like, subscribe, and all of the things. It's Chris-Nabell on Venmo. And then Cash App is, where is Cash App? Money sign Chris Nabell, all ran together.
There you go, $ Chris Nabell. That's what the van looks like. You'll find him on social media. Chris Nabell, This Week's Adventures.
And I've actually even turned on my memberships on YouTube, so you can subscribe and actually be a member for $1.99 a month and watch videos early as soon as I get them uploaded.
That's the best deal I've ever heard of. I'm gonna do it right now. It's really not crowded out here at all. A lot of people just want to go for the powder. They get scared of the slush, but I like riding the slush. Slushy park laps with good friends. It's one of my favorite times. What do you guys think? Do you like slush?
Slush is my second favorite type of riding. Honestly, very close to. I mean, it's not the same as POW, but it's fun. Might have the most fun. Close second.
I'm gonna vote it's my favorite. POW's my second. I like slush riding better than POW because I'm a park rat at heart, and the cool thing about slush is it's nice soft landings, and it's when you actually want to try stuff, because if you do eat it, it doesn't hurt anywhere near as bad for sure.
Now I heard you guys know Slush Badger, or Slush Badger knows you, or something like that. What's the story with that guy? Slush Badger.
We know of him.
Well, you're famous, so I wouldn't be surprised. Who hasn't?
We know of him.
You know, I know of the Cody. He's now become, instead of the Slush Badger, he has now become the mountain goat to me, because I've been walking up mountains with him, and let me tell you, that guy can go uphill.
Backcountry Badger. Backcountry Badger.
Is that goat as in greatest of all trailers?
Yes.
Greatest of all. Yeah.
Tom's?
Big Tom.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, with the crap.
Yeah. Oh, a couple heels. I decided to be a homeless bum living in a van, just doing all the fun stuff every day.
No regrets, not even one letter?
Not even one letter. No regrets.
Do or die.
Yeah.
Can't have an opening day without a closing day. But the conditions are so good. I wish that these resorts would stay open for a longer period of time.